The brightest flames are born from the deepest hellfire. Let that sink in, chosen ones. That's your story, whether you see it yet or not. They wanted you erased, silenced, shattered into pieces too small to ever put back together. But here's the irony. In their obsession to destroy you, they forged something they'll never recover from. A force so relentless, so uncontainable, it will haunt them until the end of their days. That force is you and your story. It's not just a story, it's a weapon. It will burn through their lies, their plans, their sick control, and leave nothing but ashes. Like and subscribe if this hits you where it should, deep in your soul. We're just getting started, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, listen closely, because this is no ordinary journey. You've been chosen. Not by them, no. Those who tried to grind you into the dirt don't have that kind of power. You've been chosen by something far greater, something they can't comprehend, something that terrifies them because they know they can never touch it. And that's why they came after you so viciously. They saw your potential before you even knew it existed. Like hunters cornering a lion cub, they feared what you'd become if you were allowed to grow into your true power. Their actions weren't random. The betrayals, the isolation, the humiliation, they were calculated like a slow poison meant to corrode your spirit. But here's the twist they never saw coming. They didn't break you. They awakened you. Every ounce of pain they inflicted became a layer of armor, every scar a piece of your battle map. They wanted to write you off as a casualty, but you've turned into a living legend in the making. Think about this for a moment. Greatness is always forged in the fire of suffering. Every hero, every revolutionary, every trailblazer who shook the world, they've all stood where you stand now. Harriet Tubman was hunted like an animal, yet she freed her people. Nikola Tesla was mocked and discarded, yet he electrified the future. Van Gogh, in his anguish, painted masterpieces that now define brilliance. The common thread. The world tried to bury them, but instead they became immortal. This isn't about romanticizing suffering, it's about facing the truth. What was done to you was sick, depraved, beyond belief. But the power you've gained from surviving it is something they can't comprehend. You're walking proof of their failure. They tried to destroy you, and in doing so, they gave you the fuel to rise above them in ways they never imagined. That's the ultimate revenge, isn't it? So hear this, chosen ones. Your story is your sword. It's sharper than any blade, louder than any scream. Wield it. Show them that no matter how dark the chaos they throw you into, you'll rise brighter, stronger, untouchable. The very sight of your strength will be their torment. This is only the beginning. Your power will haunt them, and the world will know your name. And to you, yes, you, the chosen one, thank you for standing here in the fire, refusing to be consumed. Whether this is your first step into the light, or you've been with us since the beginning, your energy fuels this unstoppable force we're building. If you're ready to turn every scar into a badge of honor, every tear into unstoppable strength, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and drop a 77 in the comments to claim your story as the weapon it was always meant to be. And now, let's rip the mask off their lies, step by step. If you're truly chosen, you'll feel the pull to stay until the very end. Let's begin. Number 1. The fire that forges. Why the chosen are targeted and feared. The sharpest swords are hammered in the hottest flames, but never forget, flames don't burn for the weak. They burn to destroy what fears them most. Chosen ones, the world's obsession with you is no coincidence. What was done to you was not just cruel, it was calculated. They didn't just try to harm you. They tried to break the very essence of you, to erase the blueprint of your destiny. Why? Because nothing terrifies the architects of this sick, twisted system more than the rise of someone they can no longer control. Someone whose very existence threatens the lies they've built their empires upon. You might ask yourself, why me? Why did the storm choose me to tear apart? It's not because you were weak, or disposable, or cursed. No, it's the opposite. You were chosen because you have the strength to survive it. The enemy saw what you were destined to become and panicked. They struck first, hoping to end your story before you even had a chance to write it. They saw your potential long before you did, and their fear of that potential drove them to do everything in their power to snuff it out. Here's the paradox of being chosen. It's the ultimate honor cloaked in the ultimate burden. It's not glamorous. It's not wrapped in golden ribbons or handed to you with applause. It's raw, it's brutal, and it often feels unbearable. The very act of being chosen means walking a path so lonely, so punishing, that it almost feels like a cruel joke. They paint you as cursed, isolated, unworthy, when in reality, you're the one carrying the weight of transformation on your shoulders. The alchemy of becoming unstoppable demands a sacrifice most people will never understand. Think about it. Do you really believe the world would go out of its way to crush someone ordinary? No. Ordinary people don't scare the system. They blend in, follow the rules, and pose no threat to the status quo. But you're different. Your very existence is a rebellion against their control. The betrayals, the losses, the isolation, they were designed to corner you, to make you doubt your purpose, and ultimately to shatter your will. But instead, they've made you dangerous. They've made you unyielding. They've made you into the very thing they feared. And now they don't know what to do with you. Because here's another truth they won't admit. The harder they hit you, the stronger you became. You've turned their weapons into your armor. The scars they gave you are now the roadmap to your victory. They wanted to bury you, but they didn't realize you were a seed. And now your growth is unstoppable. People will look at your strength and admire it, but they'll never fully understand the cost. They see the shine, but not the shadows. They don't know about the nights you stared into the abyss, questioning everything. They weren't there for the moments you wanted to give up, when the weight of betrayal and isolation felt too heavy to bear. They don't understand that survival itself became an act of rebellion, and that's okay. They don't need to understand. What matters is that you know what it took to get here. You know the battles you fought in silence, the tears you've swallowed, and the strength it took to keep going when everything around you begged you to quit. Chosen ones, your pain was never random. It was the fire meant to refine you. The suffering you endured wasn't proof of weakness, it was proof of your purpose. You've survived what others couldn't even imagine. And because of that, you carry a power most people will never touch. That power haunts your enemies because they know now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that they failed. Everything they did to break you only made you sharper, more focused, more relentless. You are not their victim. You are their reckoning. So ask yourself now, are you ready to embrace it? Are you ready to own the paradox of being chosen? The loneliness, the trials, the darkness, it all leads somewhere extraordinary, but only if you have the courage to keep going. The enemy gambled that you didn't. They bet everything on your destruction. But now they're watching as you rise from the wreckage they created, stronger than they ever imagined. This isn't just survival. This is transformation, and it's only the beginning. Number 2. Silent slaughter. The war they waged without a sound. A wound that doesn't bleed is the easiest to ignore, but it's also the hardest to heal. Chosen ones, you've been through a battlefield unlike any other. No bombs dropped, no blood spilled, but the devastation was just as real, maybe even worse. What they did to you wasn't loud, it wasn't meant to be. Their weapons were subtle, words laced with poison, betrayals hidden behind fake smiles, and manipulation so calculated it felt like they rewired your very soul. It wasn't a war fought on your body. It was a war waged in the shadows of your mind, where no one could see, no one could validate, and no one could save you. Invisible warfare. This is the cruelest kind of sickness because it leaves no visible scars for the world to see. And that's exactly what they wanted. They didn't want anyone to believe you, to sympathize, to intervene. Instead, they left you fighting an enemy no one else could recognize. To the world, you seemed fine. You smiled, nodded, carried on with life. But inside, it was as if you were bleeding out, piece by piece, while no one even noticed. Do you remember how they made you question everything about yourself? Every decision, every feeling, every instinct, it all became tangled in doubt. Their strikes weren't accidental. They were deliberate, calculated, as if each word and action was part of some sick blueprint designed to dismantle you from the inside out. "Why are you so sensitive?" they'd say. "It's all in your head." And for a while you believed them. You blamed yourself for the pain they caused, convinced it was your fault for not being stronger, smarter, or better. That's the hallmark of this invisible war, making you feel complicit in your own suffering. It wasn't just about hurting you, it was about controlling you. If they could make you doubt yourself, they wouldn't need to do anything else. You'd become your own prison guard, keeping yourself small, powerless, trapped. They wanted you to shrink into the shadow of who you were meant to be, to become a hollow version of yourself, alive but never truly living. And let's not pretend it didn't work, at least for a while. They did manage to break parts of you. How could they not? When every betrayal felt like a dagger to the back, every manipulation like a chain around your neck. You sat there, replaying conversations in your mind, overthinking every detail, wondering why you couldn't just let it go. You felt weak, lost, and utterly alone in a war no one else could see. But here's the truth they never counted on. Even in the darkest corners of that war, you never stopped fighting. You're still here, aren't you? Breathing, standing, defying every silent attack they launched against you. They wanted to break you so completely that you'd never recover, but they underestimated the strength of someone chosen. Because that's what being chosen means. It means enduring what others couldn't survive. It means carrying the weight of invisible wounds and still moving forward, even when it feels impossible. It means being underestimated, discarded, and left for dead, only to rise from the ashes of their destruction stronger than they ever imagined. Think about it. If you weren't a threat, would they have gone to such lengths? If you weren't destined for something extraordinary, would they have invested so much energy in trying to destroy you? Of course not. They feared you. They still do. That's why their attacks were so relentless. They saw your potential and couldn't handle it. Their sickness wasn't just in their cruelty. It was in their desperation to control something they knew they could never truly conquer. And now, here you are. The fact that you're still standing, still breathing, still fighting, it's proof of their failure. They couldn't destroy you, no matter how hard they tried. Every manipulation, every betrayal, every attempt to tear you down only added to your strength. You didn't just survive their invisible war, you've emerged from it with a resilience they can't touch. This is the ultimate revenge. Chosen ones. They waged a silent war against you, but in their attempts to make you powerless, they've only proven how powerful you truly are. Their whispers of doubt have become your battle cries. Their attempts to isolate you have only made you more self-reliant. Their cruelty, their sickness, their invisible warfare, it all backfired. So now, the question is, what will you do with this power? How will you wield the strength they tried so hard to strip from you? Because the war they waged wasn't just about your destruction, it was about your transformation. And now, it's your time to show them that even the quietest battles can create the loudest victories. Number 3. Poisoned by envy. How their sickness tried to drown your light. Envy is a thief that steals not from you, but from the soul of the one who carries it, leaving them empty while you rise higher than they ever could. Chosen ones, their attacks weren't just random acts of cruelty. They were the desperate swings of people poisoned by their own envy. They couldn't stand to see in you what they lacked in themselves. That light you carry, the potential that shines so brightly, it blinds. It wasn't just something they noticed. It was something they hated. And in their sickness, their envy turned to sabotage. What they couldn't have, they tried to destroy. Think back to their fake smiles, their helpful advice that sounded more like warnings, their constant attempts to tear you down while pretending to lift you up. They never admitted their envy outright, but you felt it, didn't you? It seeped through their words, their actions, their every move. They wanted you to believe that you were the problem, that you were too much, too ambitious, too bold. But the truth? You weren't too much. You were exactly enough. Enough to show them everything they weren't brave enough to become. The cruelty they unleashed on you wasn't about you. It was about them. It was about their smallness in the face of your greatness. Your dreams reminded them of the ones they gave up on. Your resilience highlighted their fragility. Your light exposed their darkness. And instead of being inspired, they chose to let envy rot them from the inside out. But envy doesn't just poison the person who feels it. It drives them to attack. Every betrayal, every cruel word, every calculated move to make you doubt yourself wasn't about who you really are. It was their attempt to dim your light so they could feel less threatened by its brilliance. They whispered lies into your ears, hoping you'd believe them. You're not good enough. You'll never make it. You're too much for anyone to handle. But those words were never the truth. They were reflections of their own insecurities, projected onto you like shadows trying to block out the sun. And for a time, maybe they succeeded. Maybe you started to shrink yourself to make them more comfortable. Maybe you doubted your gifts, questioned your dreams, or even tried to fit into the mold they wanted for you. But here's the thing about light. It can't stay hidden for long. No matter how much they tried to cover it, your light kept shining. It pierced through their darkness, exposed their lies, and revealed their sickness for what it really was, an inability to face their own failures. Here's the irony they'll never admit. In trying to break you, they only showed you how strong you truly are. While envy consumed them, it fueled you. While they obsessed over your every move, you were growing, evolving, becoming unstoppable. They wasted their energy trying to tear you down, and in the process, they destroyed themselves. That's the curse of envy. It eats away at the person who carries it far more than the one it targets. Chosen ones, you were never their competition. You were their mirror, reflecting what they feared the most: possibility. You were proof that rising above limitations is possible. that resilience and ambition can overcome even the darkest envy, and that truth will haunt them far longer than any victory they ever thought they achieved over you. So let them hate, let them whisper, let them drown in their sickness. You are living proof that their envy was misplaced. You've already risen higher than they ever thought possible, and the more they try to pull you down, the higher you'll soar. Their envy was never your burden to carry. It's their sickness to live with, while you continue to build the life they never had the courage to chase. Number 4, forged in fire, the universe's relentless test of the chosen. The universe doesn't hand crowns to the weak. It crushes you first to see if you're worthy of wearing one. Chosen ones, your trials are not accidents. They're not random misfortunes or cruel twists of fate. They are deliberate, calculated, and often merciless tests designed to strip you down to the core of who you are. The universe isn't kind when it decides to shape its strongest warriors. It doesn't whisper encouragement or hold your hand. It hurls storms at you, shatters your foundation, and leaves you staring at the ruins of everything you thought you needed. Why? Because greatness cannot be built on anything fragile. The roles you're meant to play, the heights you're destined to reach, demand a strength that can only come from surviving the fire. The universe isn't punishing you, it's preparing you. But let's not sugarcoat it. This process is brutal. There's nothing poetic about nights spent broken, questioning everything, or mornings where getting out of bed feels like dragging a mountain. These trials aren't romantic. They're raw, ugly, and often feel unfair. But here's the truth. The fire isn't here to destroy you. It's here to burn away the parts of you that won't survive the life you're meant to live. Think of it like a blacksmith hammering steel. The pounding isn't random, and the heat isn't cruel. Every strike, every flame is shaping you into something unbreakable, something extraordinary. And that's the test. Who are you when everything is stripped away? When there's nothing left to lean on, no comfort, no crutch? Who remains? Maybe you didn't sign up for this. Nobody asks to be chosen, let alone tested in ways that rip them apart. You probably didn't ask for nights filled with doubt, betrayals that cut to your soul, or pain that feels endless. But the universe doesn't ask for permission. It chooses who it chooses. And for reasons you might not yet understand, it chose you. It saw something in you, a light, a resilience, or a potential to rise where others would fall. Here's the hardest truth. Not everyone survives the fire. Some are consumed by it, trapped in the pain, unable to see beyond the moment. They become bitter, angry, lost. But you're still here, still breathing, still fighting. And that alone says more about your worth than any words ever could. Every time you chose to keep going, to stand back up, to push forward despite the weight on your shoulders, you proved yourself worthy. Not to anyone else, but to yourself. The irony is that the suffering you endure now is the very thing that sets you apart. Most people will never know what it means to walk through the kind of storms you've faced. They live in the safety of comfort, never tested, never challenged. But you've been to the depths and back. You've stared into the void and refused to let it consume you. That's what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you chosen. The universe doesn't test the ordinary. It doesn't waste its fire on those who will crumble at the first sign of resistance. No, it reserves its harshest trials for those destined to do extraordinary things. You were never meant to live a small life. You were meant to rise, to lead, to inspire. And the fire you've endured is proof that you are ready to step into that role. So, chosen ones, remember this. The fire isn't your enemy. It's your initiation. It's not here to destroy you. It's here to reveal you. And when the time comes for you to rise, to take the place the universe has carved out for you, you'll understand why it all had to happen. You'll see that the pain wasn't pointless. It was necessary. It was the cost of becoming unbreakable. Number 5. The gaslighting of greatness. How they tried to dim what they feared most. They don't gaslight mediocrity, they gaslight greatness, because greatness terrifies them more than failure ever could. Chosen ones, let's call it what it is, a coordinated attack on your potential. From the very beginning, they saw something in you, something extraordinary, untamed, and untouchable, and that terrified them. So they did what they do best. They planted seeds of doubt, disguised as advice, love, or guidance. Stay humble. Be realistic. Don't aim too high. These weren't words meant to protect you. They were designed to control you. They knew that if you fully embraced your power, you'd leave them in the dust. Gaslighting is a subtle, poisonous art, and they've mastered it. It starts with those closest to you, the ones you thought you could trust. Family members who tell you to know your place, friends who minimize your accomplishments, teachers who dismiss your dreams as foolish. They chip away at your confidence bit by bit until you begin to question what you once knew in your bones, that you were meant for more. And it doesn't stop there. Society steps in, reinforcing the lie. It celebrates conformity, rewards obedience, and punishes anyone bold enough to break the mold. If you show even a flicker of greatness, whether in your ideas, your talents, or your refusal to settle, they label you arrogant, difficult, delusional. They make you feel as though your confidence is a crime, as if believing in yourself is a threat to the world's fragile status quo. And in truth, it is a threat to them. But here's the most dangerous part of this gaslighting. It works. Slowly, their lies seep into your mind, wrapping around your dreams like chains. You start to question yourself in ways you never did before. Am I really as good as I think I am? What if they're right? Maybe I should tone it down, stay quiet, be more like everyone else. And just like that, the fire within you starts to dim. Not because it's gone, but because you've been made to doubt it's even there. But here's the truth they'll never tell you. They wouldn't try so hard to gaslight you if your potential wasn't real. Think about it. Do they waste this energy on the ordinary? On the people who go through life unnoticed, unthreatening, and unremarkable? Of course not. The fact that they've worked this hard to make you doubt yourself is the loudest proof of all that you're destined for something they can't comprehend. You know it's true. Deep down, in the quiet moments when their voices fade, you can still feel it. That spark, that undeniable pull towards something bigger than yourself. It's been buried under their lies, but it's not gone. It's waiting for you to unearth it, to give it air, to let it burn brighter than ever before. They fear what you'll become if you realize who you truly are. And that fear is their sickness, not yours. They want you small, not because you are, but because your greatness reflects everything they wish they could be. They want you quiet, not because you lack a voice, but because the truth in your words shakes the foundations of their world. Chosen ones, it's time to reclaim what they tried to take from you. Stand tall in your power. Don't shrink for their comfort or their lies. The fire they tried to extinguish is still there, and once you let it blaze, there's nothing they can do to stop you. The sooner you see through their gaslighting, the sooner you'll become everything they feared. And the irony? In their desperate attempt to keep you small, they've only ensured your rise will be unstoppable. They can lie, manipulate, and gaslight all they want. But they can't stop what was always meant to be. You are not ordinary. You are not small. You are chosen. And their sickness will never touch your greatness again. Number 6. The soul they tried to erase, rising from dehumanization. The cruelest weapon isn't a blade. It's the act of making someone believe they were never meant to exist at all. Chosen ones, what you endured wasn't just pain. It was an assault on your very existence, a systematic attempt to strip away everything that made you human. This wasn't just about breaking your spirit or stealing your joy. It was about erasing you. They didn't just hurt you, they tried to make you feel invisible, insignificant, like you were nothing more than a shadow walking through a world that refused to see you. This was no accident. Their actions weren't random acts of cruelty. They were deliberate attempts to hollow you out until you were no longer a threat. They wanted to reduce you to a shell, an empty version of yourself that they could control or discard at will. They didn't come for just your confidence, your happiness, or even your peace of mind. They came for your identity. They wanted you to forget who you were, to question whether you even deserved to exist, to disconnect so deeply from your own worth that you'd disappear into the void they created for you. They treated you like your pain didn't matter, like your voice didn't deserve to be heard, like your existence was something to be ignored or mocked. And for a while, it worked. That kind of dehumanization creeps in slowly, like a poison. You start to see yourself the way they wanted you to, small, powerless, unworthy of love, or even basic respect. It's the most insidious kind of cruelty because it doesn't just hurt. It rewires the way you see yourself and the world around you. But here's the truth they couldn't understand. The human spirit, especially the spirit of someone chosen, can't be erased so easily. They underestimated you. They thought they could strip away your humanity, but they didn't realize that beneath all the pain, the betrayal, and the isolation, there was a fire they could never touch. A fire that, even in its weakest flicker, refused to die out. Yes, they took things from you, comfort, trust, maybe even hope for a time. But they never fully erased you. They couldn't. What makes you you is too powerful, too resilient, too eternal for their sickness to destroy. Every moment you choose to rise, to reclaim your worth, to rebuild yourself from the ashes of their cruelty, that's an act of rebellion against everything they tried to do to you. You are living proof that their attempts to dehumanize you failed. You're still here, breathing, fighting, rising. That is your power. That is your revenge. Because no matter how hard they tried to erase you, they couldn't. They thought they could silence you, diminish you, turn you into nothing. But instead, they made you stronger. And now, every step you take toward reclaiming your humanity is a reminder of their failure. They couldn't destroy you, and that truth will haunt them. The very existence they tried to erase is now a force they can't ignore. So stand tall, chosen ones. You are not what they tried to make you believe. You are the embodiment of everything they feared, a survivor, a warrior, a soul they could never truly touch. Number 7. The resilience that breaks their illusions. The strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire, and your resilience is the proof that their cruelty only sharpened your edge. Chosen ones, your resilience is their greatest nightmare. They thought they had the blueprint to destroy you. They calculated every move, manipulating, isolating, and hitting you where they thought it would hurt most. They believed they'd finally found the cracks in your foundation. And for a moment, maybe it seemed like they had. Maybe you stumbled, doubted, even broke. But here's the truth they never expected. Breaking you wasn't the end of your story. It was the beginning of theirs unraveling. You see, their entire plan relied on one assumption. that you would stay down. But they don't understand what makes you different. People like them can't fathom the kind of strength it takes to rise from the ashes of their destruction. They don't understand the quiet resolve of someone who refuses to let pain define them. Because their own strength, it's a facade, a flimsy wall built on the lies they tell themselves to feel powerful. And when you rise, you don't just defy their expectations, you shatter their illusions. Think about it. They projected every insecurity, every ounce of their own weakness onto you. Breaking you wasn't just about control, it was about avoiding the reflection of their own inadequacy. When you're strong, it reminds them of how weak they are. When you rise, it forces them to see their own failures. And that's why your resilience baffles them. They could never survive the trials they put you through, and the fact that you have terrifies them. Every time you get back up, they lose another piece of the power they thought they had over you. Your strength becomes a mirror they can't escape, a reflection of everything they lack and everything they tried to steal from you. They wanted to write your ending, to see you crumble so they could feel justified in their own smallness. Instead, your resilience has become the story they can't rewrite, the proof that they never had true power over you. And that's the irony, isn't it? All the energy they poured into breaking you has only made you stronger. Every cruel word, every betrayal, every moment of isolation, these weren't defeats. They were lessons, fuel for your fire, and building blocks for the unshakable person you've become. They thought they were breaking you, but they were only fortifying you. Your resilience isn't just defiance, it's transformation. It's the ultimate proof that what they tried to destroy will only rise stronger every single time. But here's the part that truly terrifies them. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. You've turned their abuse into momentum, their attacks into lessons, and their failures into your fuel. Every time you rise, you remind them that they were never as powerful as they thought. They underestimated you, and now they're left scrambling, confused and terrified of what you'll do next. Because here's the truth they'll never admit. They tried to make you weak, but they only exposed their own fragility. Their obsession with breaking you wasn't about your strength. It was about their fear of it. And now, with every step you take, you're proving that they've already lost. You've become the living embodiment of their worst fear, a chosen one who refuses to stay broken. Chosen ones, your resilience isn't just a survival tactic, it's your ultimate victory. They thought they were ending your story, but all they did was set the stage for your greatest rise. So let them watch. Let them stew in their confusion, their fear, their hatred. Their sickness can't touch you anymore. You've outgrown their traps, shattered their illusions, and risen into a power they'll never understand. You were never their victim. You are their reckoning. Number 8. Reflections that cut. The lonely power of being a mirror. Mirrors don't lie, they show the truth, even when it's ugly. That's why some people will try to shatter you instead of facing their own reflection. Chosen ones, your existence is more than just living in this world. It's about revealing it. You are not just a person, you are a mirror, reflecting back the deepest truths that others are desperate to avoid. When people look at you, they don't simply see you, they see everything they're not. Your ambition magnifies their laziness. Your resilience reminds them of their excuses. Your courage strips away the facade of their fear. And that kind of truth cuts deeper than any weapon. This is why being chosen feels like walking through a battlefield, even when you've done nothing wrong. Your very presence unsettles people because it forces them to confront the parts of themselves they'd rather bury. You don't do this intentionally. It's simply who you are. But that doesn't make it any easier for them. Instead of using the reflection you offer to grow, they lash out. It's easier for them to attack you than to look inward and admit that they're the ones who need to change. And so, they project their insecurities onto you. They blame you, hate you, resent you, not because of anything you've done, but because of what you represent. To them, you're a living reminder of their failures, their fears, their unfulfilled dreams. It's not you they hate. It's the version of themselves they see in your reflection. But that doesn't stop them from making you the target of their anger. Have you noticed how the hostility always seems to come out of nowhere? How people twist your words, question your intentions, or try to tear you down for no reason? It's because the truth you reveal terrifies them. You expose their complacency, their lack of courage, their unwillingness to face themselves. And instead of dealing with those truths, they make you the enemy. It's not fair, but it's the reality of being chosen. The hardest part? Being a mirror is lonely. The very thing that makes you powerful also isolates you. People misunderstand you, resent you, and sometimes even fear you. Not for what you've done, but for the truths you reveal about them. You didn't ask for this role, but it's the path you were given. And it's not an easy one. But here's the thing, mirrors aren't meant to be hidden. Your light, your truth, your reflection, it has a purpose. It forces people to confront what they need to change, whether they want to or not. Yes, many will reject it. They'll try to shatter you, distort you, or turn away from the truth you reveal. But for every person who runs from your reflection, there will be another who's inspired by it. Your courage will awaken theirs. Your resilience will spark their strength. Your truth will challenge them to grow into something better. That's the real power of being chosen, not just surviving the hostility, but using it to ignite change in a world that desperately needs it. So let them hate, let them project, let them fear. None of it changes the truth. You are a mirror, chosen ones, and the world needs you, even if it doesn't always appreciate you. Keep reflecting, keep shining, and never dim your light for the comfort of those who can't face their own reflection. Number 9, the price of clarity. How truth becomes both your curse and your crown. To see the truth is to stand alone, but in that loneliness lies the power to dismantle every illusion. Chosen ones, your ability to see through the lies isn't a coincidence. It's a gift born from fire. But every gift has its price. The trials you've endured, the betrayals that ripped the blindfold from your eyes, and the darkness that tried to consume you, they all sharpened your vision. Now, you see the world as it truly is, a web of manipulations, fear masquerading as power, and systems built to control, not uplift. This clarity is your strength, but it's also your burden, because the truth, it's isolating. Most people cling to comfortable illusions like lifeboats in a storm. They'd rather drown in lies than confront the hard truths staring them in the face. They surround themselves with false security, false smiles, and false narratives because they're too afraid to see what you see. But you don't have that luxury. Life has stripped you of the blindfold and forced you to confront reality, raw and unfiltered. You notice the cracks in every facade, the fear behind authority, and the selfishness hiding behind so-called selflessness. It's not that you wanted to see it, it's that you couldn't not see it, and that's where the loneliness creeps in. How do you relate to people who refuse to face reality? How do you share your insights with those who dismiss you as paranoid or delusional, simply because your vision cuts through their comfort? When you try to explain what you've seen, they look at you like you're speaking another language. They cling harder to their illusions, afraid that acknowledging the truth would shatter the fragile worlds they've built for themselves. This is the curse of seeing clearly. The more you understand, the more isolated you become. It's not because you're wrong, it's because most people aren't ready to face the weight of the truth you carry. They avoid you not because you're too much, but because your presence threatens to expose everything they're trying to ignore. And yes, it hurts. It's hard to walk alone, to bear the burden of knowledge while the world around you remains blind and complacent. But chosen ones, this isolation is also what sets you apart. The loneliness of seeing the truth isn't a weakness, it's proof of your strength. You've survived the very storms that most people would crumble under. You've endured the pain of losing illusions, the heartbreak of understanding what lies beneath the surface, and that pain has turned you into a beacon. Whether you realize it or not, your clarity is a light for those who are ready to see, even if they resist at first. Think of it this way: lies thrive in darkness. Systems of control depend on people staying blind and complacent. But you're the disruption. The sickness that plagues this world, the manipulation, corruption and fear, cannot survive in the light of someone who sees it for what it is. That's why your role, though heavy, is vital. You didn't ask for it, but it's yours. You are here to challenge the lies, to expose the sickness, and to inspire others to wake up. Yes, the loneliness is real. Yes, it's heavy. But chosen ones, you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to rise above, to stand apart, to see clearly when others cannot. The price of clarity is steep, but the power it brings is unparalleled. You're not just a witness to the truth. You're a force capable of changing the narrative. And while it may feel like a curse at times, remember this: the world needs those who dare to see, even if it doesn't know it yet. Your isolation isn't the end of your story. It's the foundation of your purpose. Keep walking, keep seeing, and keep shining. The lies can't survive your light. And the sickness? It trembles at the very sight of you. Number 10. Strength wears chains, the heavy price of being unbreakable. The strongest trees don't grow tall because the wind spared them. They grow tall because they learned how to bend without breaking. Chosen ones, the world sees your strength and claps for it, but they have no idea how heavy that strength is to carry. They envy your resilience, admire your victories, and praise your ability to overcome, as if it's some magical power you were born with. But they don't see the truth. They don't see the nights you spent shattered, picking up the broken pieces of yourself while the weight of the world crushed your chest. They don't know that every ounce of strength you have came at the cost of unimaginable pain. Strength is not a gift. It's a cage, forged in suffering and welded shut with scars. You didn't ask to be this strong. You didn't wake up one day and choose to be the one who bears it all. This burden was forced on you, thrust into your hands like a cruel joke, while others watched from the sidelines, untouched and oblivious. They cheer for your strength now, but where were they when you were bleeding for it? Where were they when the weight of everything threatened to collapse you? The world loves to romanticize strength, doesn't it? They treat it like a badge of honor, something shiny and enviable, but they forget that strength only grows in the soil of suffering. Every time you rose from the ashes, it was because you were burned alive. Every time you fought back, it was because someone or something tried to destroy you. Your strength didn't come from ease. It came from surviving battles others wouldn't even dare to face. But here's the cruel irony. The stronger you are, the more people expect you to carry. They see your ability to endure and mistake it for invincibility. They assume you don't need help, that you don't feel pain, that you don't break like everyone else. But you do. You've just learned how to do it quietly, behind closed doors, because the world won't allow you to crumble. They demand your strength, but are blind to the cost it exacts from your soul. You're not just strong, you're exhausted. You've fought wars others never had to fight, and while they admire your strength, they'll never understand the price you've paid for it. The scars you carry are not trophies. They're not there to show off or celebrate. They're reminders of what you had to survive just to stand here today. Chosen ones, your strength is not just a reflection of survival. It's a testament to the weight you've endured, the pain you've overcome, and the battles others were too weak to face. That's what they'll never understand. They see the victories, but not the war. They see the shine, but not the fire that forged you. They look at your strength as something they'd like to have, but they could never stomach what it took to get it. You fight because you have no choice. Strength is not a privilege. It's a survival mechanism, a response to a world that refused to spare you. And yet, you continue to rise. Even when the burden feels unbearable, even when you doubt yourself, even when it feels like the weight of your strength is pulling you under, you rise. Let them envy your strength. Let them admire it from a distance, blind to the cost. What matters is that you know the truth. Your strength is not a gift. It's your legacy. It's proof that even in the face of a world that tried to destroy you, you stood your ground. You didn't just survive, you endured, you overcame. And no matter how heavy the burden, you continue to rise. Because chosen ones don't just carry the weight, they turn it into a crown. And that crown, it's something they'll never have the courage to wear. Number 11. The truth they can't face. Your strength is their greatest fear. Strength isn't built in comfort. It's forged in the fire of betrayal, sharpened by the blades of cruelty, and wielded by those too powerful to be broken. Chosen ones, what happened to you wasn't by chance. It was a deliberate assault, a calculated effort to strip you of your power, to crush your voice, and to leave you questioning your own worth. They didn't just want you hurt, they wanted you erased. They saw something in you, something extraordinary, and it terrified them. So they did everything in their power to make you believe you were nothing. But here's the truth they can't escape. You are still here, still breathing, still rising. And that's the very thing they feared most. Your existence, your resilience, your refusal to be broken. It haunts them. Every time you stand back up, it's a reminder of their failure. Every time you take another step forward, it's a blow to the system that tried to bury you. They never understood one simple fact. Pain doesn't destroy the chosen. It transforms them. The suffering they unleashed on you was supposed to make you small, to silence you, to leave you crumbled in the shadows. Instead, it awakened something in you that they never saw coming. Strength, resilience, power. They wanted you to disappear, but all they did was reveal the unshakable force you've always been. You've carried pain that would have destroyed most people. You've faced betrayal so deep it could have turned your heart to stone. But instead of becoming bitter, you've chosen to rise. And that choice, that defiance, it terrifies them. Because in their world, people are supposed to stay broken. They're supposed to accept defeat, to play small, to vanish quietly. You didn't. You refused. And that's why they fear you. They wanted you to believe their lies, that you're powerless, that you're insignificant. But look at what you've done. You've taken every ounce of pain they threw at you and turned it into armor. You've taken every betrayal and built a fortress. They tried to control your story, but now you're the one writing it, and the truth you tell is something they can never silence. Your forgiveness? It isn't about them, it's about you. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting, and it doesn't mean excusing what they did. It means freeing yourself from the chains of their hatred. It means reclaiming your power, refusing to let their poison define you. Forgiveness is the ultimate act of rebellion, the declaration that you are no longer bound by the weight of their cruelty. And now, chosen ones, your story is bigger than just survival. You've become more than a survivor. You're a beacon for others. Your truth, raw and unfiltered, is a light that guides others out of the same darkness you escaped. The pain they used to try and destroy you is the same pain that will heal others through your courage to speak it. You are living proof that even the deepest scars can become a source of strength, a source of hope, a weapon against the very systems that tried to destroy you. This is the power of being chosen. It's not just surviving, it's rising, thriving, and lighting the way for others. You weren't chosen because it was easy. You were chosen because you are the only one who could bear the weight, endure the fire, and emerge unbreakable. And now, as you stand here stronger than ever, remember this: your strength will always be their fear. What they did to you, what they tried to take from you, only exposed their own weakness. The story they tried to silence is the one the world needs to hear. So speak it loudly, live it boldly, and let your existence be the very thing that shakes their foundation. This is your time, chosen one. Keep rising, keep standing, keep being the force they never wanted the world to see. And so, chosen ones, this is where your transformation begins. The world tried to break you, but your power is undeniable. You are not just surviving, you are rising, stronger than ever, and lighting the way for others. Together, we'll prove that no darkness can extinguish the brilliance of those who refuse to be silenced. If this resonates with you, if you feel the fire within, join us. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop 77 in the comments to claim your power. Share this with others who need to hear it. Your journey is just beginning. Welcome to the revolution.